Welcome to Adulting with Joyce Pring. Watch the full video of this episode on my channel, www.youtube.com/JoycePringTV. And if you want to level up your adulting game, check out joycepring.com/collections for my digital products and courses. The key here naman talaga is to find that balance between still enjoying your life, being able to at least go out with your friends every once in a while, being able to travel every once in a while, but at the same time, keeping in mind that you're not just wasting the money that you have. Because also from a biblical perspective, diba, we want to be good stewards of the blessings that God has given us and not just waste it by doing whatever we wanted with it as if we own it, because we don't. It's really God's. Everything that we own is of the Lord, so we're just stewards, and yun yung perspective ko din ever since. Kaya even with the way that I work, I would always think if I'm not being excellent as unto the Lord, then it's a disservice to all of the talents, the time, and the treasure that God has given me. So, ibibigay ko to the maximum effort, the most excellent thing that I can give unto the Lord. Kasi worship ko yung work that I'm doing for Him. And that has really blessed me. God has really blessed me through that. But I've also learned a lot of lessons through it na pwede pala yun mag-move into pagiging workaholic, pwede pa yun mag-move into anxiety-ridden worry of constantly thinking like, do I have enough money? Is this enough? Am I working enough? Blah, 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 blah. So it's really just striking that balance. You have to figure that out. What is the balance of you still enjoying your 20s and doing what you want, while at the same time prioritizing your future and making sure that you have your investments in check and all of these things. Granted na hindi ka naman gipit na gipit and kaya mong, minsan kasi, to be frank with you, may mga experiences din ako na sinasabi ko, when I was in my early 20s, grabe, I was just living paycheck to paycheck. Pero if I look back at it now, I was living paycheck to paycheck because I was living a lifestyle that was not fit to the money that I was making. So if you're making a specific amount of money, be wise about it, diba? So kung isa-save mo yung 20% doon, huwag ka nang gumastos ng unnecessarily by eating outside, traveling when you don't have the money to, ganyan-ganyan. Yeah, so yung nina nga namin recently, pinagalitan ako, sabi niya, girl, huwag ka travel ng travel kahit dahil malungkot ka lang. Mag-set ka muna ng quota sa sarili mo. Pag may na-save ka na ganito, then sige, mag-travel ka whatever you want. Because it's okay to splurge and enjoy the fruits of your labor. But you have to first ask yourself, am I being a good steward of all of these blessings? Or am I just acting impulsively according to my wills and my wants? Not only in that spiritual aspect, which is the most important thing, but also in the pragmatic aspect na, are you wasting these opportunities and the money that you can save and that you can reinvest because you want to fill this hole in your heart na, I just want to do other things that would make me happy at this moment. Yeah. Right?
Meron din akong so if I usually look towards yung advice from kung ano yung ginagawa ng mga successful ones in life. Katulad ni Kevin O'Leary, I mentioned this to you last week. Tapos, nakita ko yung isang sinabi niya. Siyempre, extreme siya at basically wala siyang pakialam sa nararamdaman natin. Pero sinabi niya, if you do not have savings, I forbid you to buy overpriced coffee. And that's such a true and overused ano ba yun? Parang standard in our lives right now. Kasi, ano naman talaga syempre, maraming gustong gumastos for coffee that you can have at home. And yun nga, yung parang magbabayad ka ng too much, borderline too much for that kind of coffee. Whereas, may mas importanteng bagay sa mundo na kailangan mong gastusan or to save up. Nakakatawa rin yung si Michael V. He made sobrang nag-viral yung music video na ginawa niya, di ba?
Diba wala ka na kung pera.
Oo.
Ano?
Bakit ka pa bumibili?
This
So,
is overpriced coffee.
kasi naging inspiration doon niya yung nag-viral na isang coffee shop na sobrang daming nakapila, as in blockbuster yung pila. It's just an ordinary, hindi naman siya ordinary coffee shop, but it's a well-known coffee shop that's basically all over the place. Pero nakikita naman natin na marami nagrereklamo sa pagkawala ng trabaho nila during the pandemic, or marami nagrereklamo dahil wala silang savings, X, Y, and Z. Pero you still see people, or you still hear about people still spending on overpriced things na hindi priority in life.
Yeah, like can I also share? I didn't know the concept of, and I didn't actually spend a lot of money on takeouts and eating outside until I was like in my mid-20s. Kasi parang majority of my life I would just be saving money. Like I didn't come from a family that had a lot of money. So, for example, the first car that I bought, even though I was already working in TV, was this second-hand beat up Honda City that I bought second-hand, and it was very cheap lang, but it was a car that got me from one place to another. And then the first bulk of money that I got when I started earning when I was 22, I bought kaagad insurance, because that was one of the first things that you needed to buy. Like nobody in my life has taught me about that, but I was reading that in a book, and so that's what I did. I invested in insurance, and then when I was 23, I bought my first property, and I made sure that I was constantly getting work and doing all of these hard work and forbidding myself from buying expensive things or even small luxuries like expensive coffee, because I had something that I wanted to pay for. So, I guess to your point, kailangan mong ma-figure out ano ba yung longer term na goal mo. 'Di ba? So, yung favorite ko na thinking is, you're not forbidding yourself from buying overpriced coffee. You are reinvesting that overpriced coffee money into a future car that you want to buy, or a future house that you want to buy. So parang it's just the way that you will rearrange the thinking process in your brain.
Yeah. And kung iisipin mo rin naman kasi, 200 pesos lang naman yan, ganyan. But if you buy 200 pesos worth of coffee in the course of 1 year, how much would you get, diba? How much savings would have that been instead, as compared to, your regular cup of joe at home. So, medyo malaking difference yun. So, yun lang. That's it for me. Don't feel pressured. Chill ka lang.
Hindi, ma-pressure ka, tama
Make
yan.
wise decisions.
Hindi, mag-pressure ka. Joke lang. That's it for this episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring. If you liked this podcast, please don't forget to use the hashtag Adulting with Joyce Pring, and also check out www.joycepring.com for the show notes, and tag me on social media with at Joyce Pring. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Paalam!